Welcome at the PASC Conference 2024 from ETH Zurich. I have the pleasure to have with me the interdisciplinary dialogue of this edition of the PASC Conference, the interviewer Florina Ciorba, professor at the University of Basel, and the interviewee Nana Liu from Shanghai Tong University.
Jiao.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you for joining me here. This was an interdisciplinary dialogue bridging together quantum computing and classical computing. So Florina, you are coming from the classical computing.
Yes.
So how did you prepare for this interdisciplinary dialogue?
First of all, I wanted to know what quantum computing is, and that guided me to come up with a set of questions that definitely were not the ones that we would discuss, because when I contacted Nana and then we started meeting, we had several chats to prepare for this dialogue, much more interesting questions came along. So basically, what I started with, never the plan at home is the plan in reality, and Nana was able in the discussions to make me come up with much better questions to ask.
So everybody is talking about quantum computing. We have also in Europe, there is a lot of activity about building quantum computers or simulator, but what is the status of the art for quantum computing? Where are we?
Well, there are two sides, two main sides to the question. I mean, one is the theoretical state of the art, meaning like where we are designing of algorithms that even if we had the existing hardware, like with fault-tolerant quantum computers, what do we actually do with it? So this is the area that I work on, and my argument is that definitely nowhere near enough. Okay, so I don't do any of the hardware things.
Yeah.
But the hardware is certainly not up to the standard, even to realize many of the algorithms that we do have. Yeah.
I heard you saying in your dialogue at a certain point that because we are talking about a lot about high performance computing and we come from that field, but you said we are really far from having a top 500 for the quantum computing because there are so many parameters that it becomes impossible. It's impossible at the moment.
So you can always come up with a list.
Okay.
And people always do, right? So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
But whether or not it's and it depends on the list for what purpose, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because maybe investors want this list so they know where to invest. Because maybe further investment, further down the line, they will do something that is useful.
So we really need to know more. What is that we are interested to understand? What is that we are interested to measure to come up with whatever kind of list or general list to assess our.
But me as a theorist, and this is my personal opinion, right? Like everyone talks about hardware, whether or not like we're there. But even if we had them, my argument is actually we're missing good quantum algorithms.
Yeah. To work on this system. That's absolutely clear.
You can't just throw it at everything, right? Like for most things, it doesn't give advantages.
There is still work to do on purely algorithm development.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that's very. My last question for the two of you. So whoever wants to start can start. What did you learn from each other?
So I learned, initially my questions were about the hardware because I started seeing quantum computing as another accelerator. But that is not sufficient. So thanks to Nana and to our conversations and to our dialogue and discussion since, I realized that algorithmics in quantum computing is just as important as it is in classical computing, because with algorithms, you are not bogged down to hardware. You can solve much more problems before you even have the hardware to test those ideas on. That's what I learned from the discussion.
And Nana, what have you learned from Florina?
I've learned a lot from Florina. I mean, part of the reason why I'm here is to actually talk to purely classical people. And a lot of the questions that Florina asked, I actually never thought to ask, because I didn't know, because I came from the quantum side.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess that enlightened, and I realized we're running out of time. But basically, like learning the philosophy about where people are coming from the classical side of things, and the attitude towards computing, which is a little bit different from the community that we have in quantum.
I must say that it was a very, very enjoyable interdisciplinary dialogue. I liked it a lot, so I thank you both for your time and for being at the PASC conference, and I hope to see you again maybe next year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.